So first, this is the last time I will do this, and so it is with great sadness that I stand before you. But I have to tell you that your presence is a great honor. I wondered how many people would show because of the COVID, and you did not disappoint. So thank you for coming to honor all the names that are on the wall, all those who have lost their life to crime. And while we do that, we also celebrate their lives. But I also want you to send this message out, that each victim, no matter the injury, each victim deserves a voice in our courtrooms and our criminal justice system. And you all can be that part, that voice. So please do not give that up. I have a few people to thank. Certainly right behind you, the El Paso Police Department has brought that large flag to honor us. The city of El Paso to allow us to use the park and the library. I'm especially thankful to Mayor DeMargo for expediting the permit process, and our representative Henry Rivera, he's right here to my left. Thank you, Henry, for coming. Also, this year is a little different. Normally we have representatives from all law enforcement agencies participating in what we're about to do here in the reading of the names, but this year it's my entire staff, the readers, the victim advocates, those who will hold the posters you'll see in a moment, all of those. And so to all of them for their service, not just today, but for the 28 years that they provided, thank you very much. Also like to recognize Mike Short, who's from the El Paso Municipal Police Officers Association, Pete Ferroni, who's representing the Sheriff's Officers Association, Constable Jeremiah Haggerty, Precinct 2, thank you for coming. Judge Anchondo, thank you for making time. I certainly appreciate it. But we have a special guest here, and this is my last time to be able to speak at this ceremony. But she has honored us with her presence today, and that will be the new DA starting January 1, Yvonne Rosales, who's here to my left. Yvonne? I know that Yvonne is taking steps to make the transition starting January 1, and I know she'll do a good job. But what I would ask all of you is to help her as she makes the transition. As she knows, and as I know, this is not an easy job. It takes lots of time, hard work, and commitment, all of which I think she will bring to the office. But it also takes help from the community. And you all most directly know how the criminal justice system affects you. And so you can help as she goes forward, making sure, one, that justice occurs in our courtrooms, but mostly that the voice of victims is heard in our courtrooms. And so you need to be that voice. And so please, I know that you'll support Ms. Rosales. And Yvonne, thank you for coming. I don't have a long bio to introduce Joe, Speaker Moody. I've known him for a long time. I've known his dad. They've been very involved in the criminal justice system. Joe Moody not only works very much in this area of criminal justice, but also in his, actually, I was going to say in his day job, but he's got a day job because those state reps, that's like a once every 2-year job. But when he's in Austin, he not just represents El Paso on criminal justice matters, he also represents Texas on criminal justice matters, and in many other areas as well. But I thought it was especially important today because I think Ms. Rosales will see this in the coming years, that there is going to be an examination of how the criminal justice system works. What is best so that we can achieve justice? And Speaker Moody is very involved in those discussions. And I know that he wants to make sure that the criminal justice system is fair to all and that justice is for all, not just one side. And so for me, on my last time to reach out to you, I wanted you to hear from someone who is very knowledgeable in this area, who fights not just for you, but for justice in this state. And he has a national voice as well on criminal justice issues. And so for me, I want you to know where we are on criminal justice and how that interacts you and how I think we're going to improve it. So with that, Speaker Moody.
Thank you all for having me here. And I know, although this is a moment of reflection that's about the people whose names are going to be read today, I do want to begin by thanking Jaime Esparza. Jaime has devoted nearly 3 decades of his life to seeking justice for victims of crime and making sure their stories are told. He's an example of true public service, and every El Pasoan owes him an incredible debt of gratitude. Mr. Esparza, thank you very much. We often hold ourselves out as a community that's unlike others in Texas. We're kinder, we're closer, we're El Paso strong. And all of those things are true. But we can't forget that even in a special place like El Paso, we hurt each other. And I say we because crime isn't some outside thing that happens. It's a part of our life as a community. There are 23 names on this memorial from the shocking violence inflicted on us in a single day by an outsider last year. But as gut-wrenching as that was, after the bell tolls for those victims today, it will toll 1,721 more times for people taken from us in events that might be seen as less dramatic or everyday crimes. The fact that killings can exist in a category like that is completely unacceptable. Each of these names is just as real. They're people who are loved, who are missed, who should never have been taken from us. I'm proud to honor them here today. More than honor, though, we owe them action. You might assume I mean making laws or enforcing them in our courts. And I've certainly spent my career doing those things. But at this incredible moment in our country, I don't think that's what will truly make us safe and whole. Instead, it's up to each of us to change our hearts and how we connect to one another. America is as divided as it's ever been. We're here in a pressure cooker where distrust and resentment are undermining the very idea of America. We aren't as far gone here in El Paso as I've seen in other places, and I pray that we never get there. But we also have a chance to change things, to begin the healing process that will reverse throughout this state and this country. We have an opportunity to be leaders in love. So let's give our neighbors the benefit of the doubt. Let's reach out to those who are down and lift them up. Let's pause before posting that angry comment online. Let's make sure that everything we do affirms the humanity of everyone we're dealing with. We protect life by making all our lives better every single day. Violence doesn't stop when we meet it with greater violence. It stops because we reject it in every form and choose to live a different way. Grand gestures are important, but lasting change comes from the accumulation of small moments where we choose kindness. As we solemnly listen to the names of the departed here today, let's promise to make this the El Paso that they would have wanted. Thank you again for having me, and I pray that God's love embraces each and every one of you, and that you feel his peace as you make your journey in healing.
What I want you to know, and what the community wants, what I want them to know, is I just want to thank you for allowing me to represent you, to provide service and advocacy for you, to be your lawyer in the courtroom, to be able to stand and say I was a lawyer for the state of Texas. You have gifted me with that honor for 28 years. The other day, I thought I was a little too revealing in an interview, so I'm just confess and tell you what I said now, because I'm pretty guarded when asked about myself. But in a meeting after the August 3rd shooting, the governor was here and he talked to me, and it was a private meeting. And he asked me what we need, and he was totally helpful. He wanted to help El Paso. But he asked me, do you think that case will go before I leave? And I was hopeful that it would, but it's not. And it's very hard to say when it will go. But when I was hopeful that it would go before I left, I told him this. And I believe this to my core, and that's why I have to say thank you. The job you have allowed me to do for 28 years is something I was born to do. I never knew until I got into the courtroom when I was a young prosecutor how I loved that environment. And I can tell you that it has been an honor to stand each time in front of the courts to say I represented the state of Texas. And you have gifted me with that honor. So as we read these names, and I thought Joe put it as well as can be put, in this solemn occasion, I want you to know that we have not given up the fight. I may not be the DA come January 1, but I will not give up the fight to make sure that you all have a voice in the courtroom. That is so important. It's so neglected. We never talk about it. And that needs to stop. And I know that Ms. Rosales will do an excellent job. Adam's first act as a man was to name. He named the plants and named each animal. The elephant, the lion, the tiny sparrow. He named the fish in the sea, the birds in the air. Day and night, Adam worked, naming and naming all that God had made. God created, Adam named. We, the sons and daughters of Adam, continue to name. We name what we love. We name our children, our sons, our daughters. We are born, and the name is given to us. We live our days and are known by our names. God calls us each by name, loves us each by name. We hear him calling in our darkest hours, our names on his lips. And when we are taken from this blessed and holy earth, our names renamed. Today, we honor those names and remember. This year, as we begin to read the names, it'll be just a little bit different. There'll be a little more music between the reading of the names when we change out the readers. It might take a little bit longer. Please feel comfortable to stay as long as you can. You do not have to stay the entire time. We are honored by your presence here today. Everyone should have that red bracelet. If you don't, please make sure you go through the COVID protocol. And now we're going to begin. Andre Pablo Anchondo. Jordan Anchondo. Arturo Benavides. Jorge Calvio Garcia. Leonardo Campos Jr. Maribel Hernandez Loya. Adolfo Ceros Hernandez. Sarah Esther Regalado Monreal. Guillermo Coach Memo Garcia. Angelina Silva Eaglesby. Maria Muñoz Flores. Raúl Estrada Flores. Gerard Alexander Hoffman. David Alva Johnson. Luis Alfonso Juárez. María Eugenia Legareta Roth. Ivan Monsanzo. Gloria Irma Marquez. Elsa L. Mendoza. Margie Rickard. Javier Amid Rodriguez. Teresa Sanchez. Juan de Dios Velázquez. José Luis Wentz. Elde Iván Garcia. Raymond Abbott. Miguel Ángel Alvarado. Nasheed Anwar. Raymond Bledsoe. Mónica Carrazo. Alberto Casillas, Jr. Santana Jasmine Marie Castro. Staff Sergeant Amy Colbert. Rurico Dennison. Fabian Diaz. Julie Duncan. Richard Lenuel Duncan. Carlos Alberto Elias III. Antonio Enrique Razo. Jesús Alberto Estrada. Celso Manuel García Quiroz. Erica Andrea Gaitan. William Glover. Joseph Eric Gomez. Sergio Josué González. Leah Celeste Grijalva. Erin Teresa Hawkins. Deputy Peter John Herrera. Alfina Hopkins Washnuk. Arben Arben Iglesias. Carissa Elise Ingram. Kiana Johnson. Jamal Deontre Jones Aguilar. Terrence Lamont Kinnard. Carlos David Lechuga Vega. Giselle Martinez. Amber Maria May. D'Angelo Merriweather. Agustin Nelson. Robert Noble. Juan Manuel Pacias. David Bozo Peña. Miguel Pereira. George Reed. Miguel Rivera. Roberto Rodriguez Jr. Baby America Salgado. Luis Ángel Sánchez. Heriberto Mr. Santi Santayana. Edwin Leonardo Solis Loya. Jasmine Maria Trong. Jacqueline Valenzuela. Jesus Varela. Carlos Vargas III. Tammy Lynn Wacker. Chester Charlie Woodard. These are the names of the newest on the memorial. Their names are just on the other side of the memorial, and they were just engraved this year.